get ready because March is going to be a wild ride. It's going to be full of magic and it's going to be full of madness. I think there's going to be a lot of chaos, a lot of energy, a lot of movement and power. And the stars and the energies of the rhythm influence what's going on in our consciousness and on the planet. But we also can show up as empowered and sovereign beings to really work with these energetics and work with the flow of our life and to have intention and purpose, focus, and have the ability to transmute what's showing up in our lives to really be the source of our experience. And so this is the real power and the potential of being the source. Why we're here on the planet in this journey is we're going to need it in these times to come, not only, in March, but coming into April and into the rest of this year. And as we move forward in time, in our lives, and in this global uplifting of consciousness that we are going through, this collective transformation that we are going through. And we can be the way showers of this new potential by being the source, really awakening to the truth of who we are, knowing how to tap into that source within ourselves, to really connect with the energy up and down below and in our heart, really grounding in this truth of who we are and working in from that empowered source field place with the energetics that are showing up. And that's what some of these alignments and what the source codes can help us to do. So let's go take a look at the rhythm and see what's coming for these energies in March and as we move into April. All right, so here we are taking a look at the rhythm and the true zodiac, and the true zodiac being the actual size and locations of the constellations in the sky as they really are, not how the Western astrology system wants to tell you that they are according to its fixed, old, outdated system that's not really in touch with reality. So this rhythm is bringing us back into our natural connection with the cosmos and with the energies of the rhythm. And today we're looking at March 10th, this new moon that's coming in. You can see right here the sun and the moon coming together. They're right here, right on the edge of Pisces and Aquarius, shifting between those two worlds. So this is a time when the Western zodiac matches up because of the different sizes of the actual constellations. Sometimes there is a match, although it's probably way over here according to the Western astrology system. But regardless, moving into this Pisces energy, the sun and the moon coming together. Let's take a look. Pisces being about the dreams and imagination and creating this extraordinary story of your life. These energies of compassion and intuitive and artistic and being spiritually connected. So this is the root of what we're moving into in the energetics. This new moon coming in, lining up with the sun and that power. And they're here in source code number 13. If you're new here, these source codes are based on 5,000-year-old Yi Jing wisdom. These 64 codes, very beautiful, amazing, powerful energetics about our consciousness. These 64 different archetypal energies that we can embody in our life, and that we even come with certain attunement to, a blueprint to, which you can find out more if you go to my website at BSource about your particular blueprint and the codes that you have with your planets according to your birth time in your birth chart. And so these have been attuned and placed around the zodiac, bringing this balance of the feminine, of the natural order of the cosmos and the constellations, and this beautiful wisdom about consciousness and change and energy. That's what the I Ching energetics bring, and these source codes are an attunement to these energetics. So let's take a look at this 13 that the sun and the moon are sitting in, and will be for a couple days coming up to that new moon. So this is setting the tone for the new moon. This resonate, collaborating with others, playing my part. I am harmony. And that everyone has a gift to give. And this is such a beautiful one. This is a celebratory code of really recognizing your own gift, your part. How can you really play into that and come in and share that with others? In what ways can you create a symphony together with those around you? Really be in harmony and resonating together. This is the energy that's starting this March new moon, this moon journey. I'm just going to open this up so you can see each one of these source codes has these condensed and direct energetics of those words that I just read. And then also these vibrational carriers of energy in these mandalas. Each one is made from a photograph of river ice. So I fell in love with the ice and the rivers here in Colorado and taking pictures and eventually making art from them and eventually making these mandalas, 64 unique ones, each as unique carriers of this sunlight and water through the crystalline expression and the colors amplifying the particular energetics of that frequency, of that source code. So this one being resonate, I am harmony. So not only do you have a gift to give, but recognizing everybody has a gift to give. It's sort of recognizing that all of life has this potential to be resonating in harmony. And when it's not, what's happening? Maybe we're not in our gifts. We're out of alignment with who we really are. Some part of ourselves is believing something that's not really true within our own higher self's wisdom. Because we are here to be naturally attuned, naturally resonating in our vibration, in who we are and how we feel, how we're experiencing life. And all the dissonance, which is the dysfunction and the drama and the stories and the dark experiences and contraction, all of that is dissonance, meaning you're just out of alignment with what's really true within you. You're believing something, you're living some old pattern, some energetic that's not resonant with what you really are, with your true resonance. And so it feels terrible. This is the guidance system within us, because we're actually made to be attuned to our true self. It's a guidance system always here. And so this code is pointing us to that gift. And all the source codes, that's what their purpose is to help us realign back into this essence, back into the truth of who we are, back to the source. And we can actually begin to develop that as a skill, as a practice to go into that source within ourselves, and to really ground in that, and then to work with what's showing up in our lives. And so that's what will be given the opportunity, and life is sort of always giving us this opportunity. But we'll be moving through this moon and into this eclipse season that's coming. So let's take a look at that. So on March 25th, the moon goes directly opposite the sun. And by then the sun shifts through a few codes. So maybe we just look at those and what its journey is going to be. It's going to go from this 13. So let's setting the stage. How can I really resonate with others, with this life that I am? How do I bring more of the gift of who I am? And 49 is this evolutionary code. This is like the phoenix rising from the ashes and really breaking free from those old patterns and being the change, so you can really spread your wings and fly. So you got to do the work, though. You can't just evolve. You have to welcome in. You have to transform. You have to break free of these patterns. So there's going to be, that means likely your patterns are going to be showing up here. And you have to be able to see them, become aware, and go into the source and break free of that. Really expanding into what? Into this 30, which is this inspire. I'm luminous, being the source of love, shining like the sun and spreading love. This is This is a very light and like radiant, being like the sun code. So if you really are playing your part, really working on who you are and seeing the gifts in yourself and others, doing the work to evolve yourself and break free from these old patterns, and you move into this inspire, really allowing yourself to shine, being what you are. And then as we move into this lunar eclipse in 2 weeks, going into this 55. And if you study the gene keys, 55 is said to be the vibration of this new earth potential. 5-5. I call it abundance. I am success, stepping into my power, embodying new realities, and to realize your true potential. And that potential is to be the source. You realize you are the source of your experience, of your creation. And to really open and allow that abundant energy, self, to come through you, potential into your life. So it's this beautiful sequence as we arrive here in this 55, this new earth vibration. The new earth in this revolution that we're in of expanding consciousness into the new earth is about people all over this planet breaking free of the matrix that's been controlling us, keeping us limited, telling us that we are not empowered, that we are not the source. Look at all the things in your life that tell you that you're not that. Even your own stories, even your own inner critic telling you that you can't do it, you're not worthy, you're not really empowered. These are all part of that matrix, that false matrix that's been holding humanity down at this lower vibration. But we're breaking free of that, one person at a time, one heart at a time, becoming the source of who you are, the source of your experience. And then transmuting those old patterns in your life, in your lineage, in the world. This is the revolution. And so the moon moves into 59 when it goes into this eclipse, shine. So this is like a beautiful expression again of that same harmony and resonating, sharing my gifts, radiating like the sun, and being the brilliance that you are. And to just give everything to everything. So how can you give more to everything? It's not that you have to give in some way that you're lacking, because the true source that you are and the source energy is infinitely abundant. If you can just open your vessel, open your energy, really ground into the source, accessing that higher energetic vibrational abundance, that 55, allowing that to come through you, then you can spread love, shine love like the sun, give everything to everything. I love this code. It's so dynamic. So and at that time, the moon moves into the Virgo. So it's all about, the mind and this analytical and processes and things of that nature. And if you're in the rhythm and you're like, well, I'm not sure what Virgo is, well, you can click on it. It says here, fashioning a purposeful life, checking out the details, practical, service, discerning, and then what happens if you get too overly or under-emphasized in your life. So some things to look at. And what about the moon? Your emotions and nurturing, intuitive, receptive. So we're really receiving the energy of this higher light, receiving it and then sharing it, just like the moon does. Receiving that sun and reflecting it out, blessing the world, lighting up the darkness. So then that's the power of this lunar eclipse. As that moon goes full, then we enter this eclipse portal while the moon comes back around, and then it's going to be a solar eclipse on April 8th. And it's about noon. I'll just leave it at 11. I love 11. Mountain time. So then this is where the moon catches up with the sun. I know the moon's over here, but they're all on this one marker right here. But you'll see we also have Chiron right in this mix, right on that same spot. for this solar eclipse. So we come through this lunar eclipse portal, really stepping into the gifts of who we are. And now, come into this solar eclipse, really embodying the energy of the sun. And then when its shadow, when this moon comes in and it marries the divine and masculine coming together. And then Chiron being this dark wound, this great wound of our life that really helps us evolve through the energy of our own consciousness, this transformational power of turning our darkest wound into our greatest gift. How do we really allow that? Recognize that, oh, this is why things are showing up as they are in my life. This is helping me to actually become the greatest version of myself. And if we look at this 63 code, this is really the end of the whole cycle. There's 64 of them. But this one is perfect, already complete. Everything is perfect just as it is, and I am that. And so it is. This is why it's the end of the whole sequence. Because everything has come to its perfection, to its culmination. Nothing else is needed to be done. Everything is perfect just as it is. And it might be very challenging, might be very dark, it might be very magical and beautiful. What is it going to be for you? Even when it is really dark, it can be magical and powerful if you're willing to allow yourself to keep tapping into that source, transmuting the energetics, and then seeing what shows up in your life. The 64 is the opposite of that code. This is the pure I am, open potential that you can transform, that really all things are possible and there's nothing but love, that you can be anything. That's being the source. So you tap into that, allowing this perfection. That's what comes next. Once you realize it's perfection, then it's just all wide open. What do you want to do? You're the source of your experience. You can create your response to what's happening. You can transform the dark energetics, these old patterns that are showing up, and you can create what you want to be experiencing. And why are you here on this planet? How are you going to bring this 55 and really help uplift all of reality through who you are, really playing your part, resonating, playing in harmony. This is the beautiful and powerful time. And look at how all these energetics are all here together. So it's probably going to be a lot of chaos and synchrony. The magic and the madness all coming together. But there's something always riding through that middle, and that's the source. And then the last thing next that we move into is this Uranus and Jupiter coming together. And we'll get into that code in the next video, because it's going to be a significant evolutionary expansion for us and for all of humanity. And we'll see what comes of that as we do all the work going through this eclipse portal, but really tapping into who we are as the source and raising into that new earth vibration and sharing that love, that energy, grounding in that potential for ourselves and for the world. So it's going to be a rocky and rough and magical, beautiful ride. Just allow yourself to ground and center and allowing all that's showing up in our lives so we can transmute that and really share the gifts, really share the love that we are with the world. This is how, as New Earth revolutionaries, we are creating the waves of change, expanding consciousness on this planet. So stay tuned for the next video coming soon. If you want to go to my website at bsource.me, you can take a look at your blueprint and see the source codes that are unique to you. If you want to work with me one-on-one, I help people to transmute these energetics, to really stabilize themselves in the energy of this new earth, of being the source. When what that really means, to really grok that inside of you. So we can share this with the world and keep expanding consciousness and love. So many blessings to you. Much love.